Are your organizations going to work in a hybrid form for the next, at least this year? Is that the view? And the reason, I mean, I'm thinking about then the whole skilling aspect also, because if you bring people back to work, then maybe those ratios and the what kind of skills we are teaching to people may vary, or how we teach people may change. But if it's still the hybrid environment or the virtual environment, then obviously it is status quo as it is in the last 2 years.
Most likely, at least for us, we are going to be working in hybrid mode, though our offices are again reopening from have reopened from 21st of February, and from 6th of March, we will have at least minimum 2 days employee footprints within the organization every week.
Right.
However, it is very clear for us the skilling piece also has kind of evolved with this kind of changes that is happening. Less is more is a concept that we are adopting. Let's
Mm-hmm.
focus on the top three business priorities, strategic business priorities, and put all our muscles around building that kind of a content, that kind of learning opportunities, wherein masses have to be, getting aligned to the strategic priorities. So, top three, we have been very hard on our business saying that no laundry list of items. Please give us top three, and that's how we have kind of changed our modality of offering programs in the year 2022.
All right. Fair enough.
The
But
same
even
is the
at
case with,
BT, yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Anisha.
So we are moving into the hybrid model. We've already launched smart working for all our colleagues across all locations, where the expectation is to work 3 days a week.
Mm.
But depending on the role, it may change. So if you're customer facing and depending on the approvals that you get from line managers, it might change. And to what Sonal said, this is the time when we're actually moving to business and, becoming a part of their strategic decisions. And we're going with exactly the same approach that just give us top three key priorities for your businesses. Otherwise, it gets really difficult.
Right.
Because you go to them, they will have a laundry list without any clear expectation on where it's going to impact. And every time when you even go and ask for a measure of success, it's a huge question mark. So
Absolutely.
your interventions have to be completely aligned to the business priorities. And I think that's the best approach that we could think of. And I'm glad that Sonal also mentioned about it.
Would learning also go hybrid, or will still continue to do virtual learning?
So what we've seen in the last 2 years, Neeti, is that even today, I mean, I'm talking about the contact center environment. Our
Right.
trainings have been in the face-to-face environment.
Mm-hmm.
Trainers and employees have been asked to come to office. Yes, there
Okay.
was a time when it was virtual, but there were a lot of challenges when it comes to connectivity and network issues.
Right.
So while it happened, and the entire team raised out to say that there is a huge impact on the learning effectiveness if it's a virtual environment.
Right.
So our emphasis is to make it face to face. But when we speak about our leadership interventions, PT is completely in favor of micro learning and moving away from the classroom trainings,
Mm.
unless it's a focus group, because now we have programs on high potentials. So the approach is slightly different in that area where we understand that, where the impact could be. Otherwise, we are moving away from face to face interactions as much as possible. And the idea is to leverage on, license based programs or platforms that we've launched, which
Right.
will give a bigger view and a broader view, specifically when you're talking about composite skills.
Yeah.
So we are actually seeing a shift there. But when it comes to the transactional training, I would say it is face to face to have a
Right.
maximum impact.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
for us in Ericsson, I think 2020, we did uh, a lot of discussions internally and a lot of deliberations and a lot of reinvention, I would call it. And since March of 2020, when the thing started, the pandemic started and the lockdown and everything started, and this is not just for India, this is all over the world for Ericsson.
Mm.
So we have gone completely 100% virtual. And I think even for this year, at least not till Q4, Q4 for us means October of this year.
Yeah.
I don't see anything changing with respect to that. Because by now, I think after a lot of back and forth, we have kind of been able to manage a fairly decent level of effectiveness of all our programs virtually.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think as of now, and this is also linked to our coming back to office schedule.
Yeah.
As of today, there is no such guideline that has come in, so I don't see that happening before the next at least 4 to 5 months, at least 4 months for sure. And even if that happens, it will continue to be a hybrid mode, similar to what Sonal and Anisha said, that maybe maximum 2 days a week people might be expected to come to work. But that definitely I don't think is expected to include trainings,
Okay.
right? So we definitely would continue in the completely virtual mode, maybe barring a few very senior leadership trainings or coaching kind of sessions where focus group discussions. In fact, we are also doing discussions virtually using Teams and the other platforms. And I think we've been able to do a decent job there. So more likely it's going to be hybrid in terms of the working, but in terms of the training, I still see it to be virtual, most likely for the whole of this year.